Have you been looking at your website analytics recently and noticed something a little bit off? Maybe you've seen that your traffic is down. Maybe those Google clicks aren't what they used to be. Maybe you were getting a lot before and now you aren't as much. And you're thinking, what am I doing wrong? Did I mess something up? Is my website not working? Is something off? Today, I want to talk about the fact that it's not you. It's actually happening to everyone. And you're going to learn about why your website clicks might be down. And by click, I mean someone actually going to your website, but your business doesn't have to be. A lot of my clients are seeing fewer clicks than ever, but are booking more projects and making more money. What's going on? It really all comes down to something called no-click searches. And if you haven't heard this term before, don't worry, I'm going to break it down for you. By the end of today's episode, you're going to understand exactly what's happening, why it matters, and more importantly, why the content on your website is more valuable now than ever. Welcome to Website Design Made Simple, the podcast for busy small business owners who want a high-performing website that converts and sells their offers, even while they're sleeping. Because you deserve to have a strategic and beautiful website that truly represents your brand and positions you as the expert that you are. I'm your host, Jenny B, web designer and creative director at Jenny B Designs, where we believe that your website is the one thing that makes you sales and builds your brand at the same time. Ready to say goodbye to a website that you're embarrassed to share? And hello to a money-making, personality-packed powerhouse? Let's head into today's episode. Hello, welcome back to the podcast. I'm so happy to have you here. Thank you so much for joining me. I am Jenny, and I own Jenny B Designs. We are a brand and web design studio, and I am passionate about helping small business owners get set up online, create a beautiful but more importantly strategic website that aligns with who they want to serve, attracts their ideal clients, and makes them money. Today we're talking about the no-click searches. Let's start at the top. What is a no-click search? A no-click search is when someone types something into Google or asks your favorite AI tool, so ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, a question, and they get their answer right there without ever clicking through to a website. Think about it. When was the last time you Googled something simple? Like for me, for an example, I've been doing a lot of sourdough bread baking, and I Googled, how long do you need to have sourdough rise? And right up at the top, it showed me an AI snippet, and it pulled the answer. I didn't have to click through to a website to read someone's blog post because I'm sure there are millions of blog posts about sourdough baking. But Google extracted that information and gave me my AI answer right up at the top. I got my answer. I didn't have to visit or click any websites, and I just went on from there. That's a no-click search. The same thing is true when you go ask ChatGPT or Claude, which is my favorite AI tool. I find myself doing that a lot. I will ask a question and get the answer right there from the AI tool. And I'm not clicking over to a website. If you needed to find this answer 10 years ago, you would be doing a Google search and then going over to someone's blog post. This is what I'm talking about. Now, what does this mean for you as a small business owner? It means that fewer people are clicking through to your website, even if they're searching for exactly what you offer. And I've been hearing this from a lot of my clients and ones that I'm taking care of. We see this in the analytics, myself as well. I'm not getting as much traffic as I used to. And if you aren't aware of this phenomenon, or if you don't really think about it, you could be wondering what happened. I'm doing this episode because I just want to share with you that your website is fine. This is just the new reality of how people are searching online for information. One of my clients actually saw a decrease of more than 35% in traffic. And when we looked at it, compared to how her actually business was doing, her business has not changed. Just the amount of traffic that has gone through to her business has changed. And what another client, she also saw a dip in traffic, but she was booking more discovery calls more than ever. What's happening here? Well, less people are clicking through to her website because they are finding the answer that they need from Claude, But the ones who are actually landing on the website were more qualified. They knew that they wanted what she had and they were ready to book. These casual browsers, these people who are looking around to get answers, are actually getting them from Google and ChatGPT and Claude without ever visiting your site. But the people who do click through to your site, they are serious, they are ready, they are your ideal clients. I've even had a client be recommended by ChatGPT right there in the search results. When someone, for example, does a Google search, best spas in my neighborhood, and it comes up with ChatGPT is a list of 6 or 7 with a little snippet about why they might be the best. The potential client is reading these snippets and maybe thinking that the spa that is my client sounds like the best one. So they're clicking over. They are not just a casual browser. They are ready. They're serious. And so when they come to your website, they're there to make things happen. What does this mean? It's less click-throughs, but the people who are coming there are actually taking action. Let's talk about where these no-click searches are happening, and I mentioned it briefly before. First, there's the Google AI overviews. If you've Googled anything, you will see these. These are the boxes up at the top. They kind of show up in an animated format, and they give an AI-generated answer. Google is pulling this information from multiple websites and putting it all together to give you a summary. You get your answer without clicking anything. Then there are AI chat tools like Chat and Claude and Perplexity. And people are using these more and more instead of Google. I will say I am as well. I have an app on my phone and I tend to ask Chat a lot more questions than actually going to Google. It's because when you ask a question, you get a detailed answer and then you just move on. You're not clicking through to a website. And then there are the traditional no-click search results that have been around for a while. You probably have seen these like featured snippets in the local map pack. If you are searching for a plumber near you, Google will show you a map with 3 plumbers that are right near you, and you can call them directly from clicking there from their Google business profile. You don't have to visit their website. That is the traditional no-click result. I'm interrupting this episode to ask you a question. Is your website working as hard as you are? You've invested in a website, but if visitors aren't becoming paying clients, something's missing. My website audit is a professional review where I will analyze your site and identify exactly what's blocking conversions. You'll get a prioritized action plan with specific changes to turn more browsers into buyers. So stop guessing what's wrong and get some clear answers. Book your website audit today. The link is in the show notes. Now back to the episode. All of these things are contributing to fewer clicks on your website. And website owners, small business owners, can feel really discouraged when you see those numbers going down. But here's what I want you to remember. Just because people aren't clicking doesn't mean they're not seeing you. It doesn't mean that your website doesn't matter. In fact, it actually means your website matters more now than it ever has before. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds a little bit backwards. If people aren't clicking on my website, why does my content matter just as much, even more now? Here is why. These tools, Google, ChatGPT, Claude, they're pulling their information from somewhere, and that somewhere is your website. When someone asks ChatGPT about website design tips, it's reading content from websites just like mine. I'm hoping they're reading mine. When Google creates that AI overview that shows up when someone searches about choosing a web designer, it is pulling that information from actual websites. So even if people aren't clicking through to your site, the AI is reading it. And if your content is good, if it's helpful, it's well written and strategic, you're going to show up in those AI answers. And your business name might be mentioned. Your expertise will be shared, and people who are seriously looking for what you offer, they're going to dig a little bit deeper and find you. And this is why I am saying that your website content is more valuable than ever. It's not just about getting people to click anymore. It's about being the source that these AI tools trust and reference. Think about it like this. Your website used to be that storefront on the busy street. People walked by, they saw your storefront. Some came in, some didn't. Now, your website is more like the expert that everyone is asking for advice from. The AI tools are coming to you. They're reading your content and then sharing your expertise with anyone who asks. It is treating you like the expert that you are. And that is super powerful. And it's why you can't ignore your website content just because clicks are down. Now, I want to talk about the Google Business Profile for a second. This is another big piece of the puzzle. I've even done an episode, it was episode 41, Rank Higher in Google Search by syncing your website with your Google Business Profile. It is important because if you are a local business, your Google Business Profile, GBP, is showing up in those no-click search results all the time. That's what I talked about, the map pack. When someone searches for a coffee shop near me, Google shows a map with 3 coffee shops. They can see your hours, your phone number, your reviews, all without ever clicking your website. And this is a wonderful thing. It means you're visible. People can find you quickly. And if they need more information, for example, if you were a restaurant and they want to see your menu or learn about what makes you unique, then they will click through to your website. But here's the thing I want you to know. Your Google Business Profile and your website need to work together. The information needs to match. Your hours, your services, your messaging, it all needs to be consistent. Even your address. If you have a suite and you write out the word suite on your Google Business Profile, but on your website, it just has S or SU, however you abbreviate suite, that's not matching. You want to have everything matching exactly. Because when someone sees you on Google and visits your website, you want them to feel like they're in the right place. And this goes back to what I said about the website content mattering more. People who are clicking through your business profile, Google Business Profile, to your website, they're already interested. Your website needs to seal the deal. This is where you make things happen. It needs to give them the information they need to say yes and book you. So don't think of your Google Business Profile as competition from your website. It is actually a partner. They work together hand in hand to make sure you're visible and that you're converting those serious qualified leads. Now, here's the thing that some of my clients have noticed, and I have as well. And I mentioned this a little bit before earlier. The people who are actually clicking over to your website now in this whole world of no-click searches, they're your best leads. They're not just browsing. They're not just casually looking around. They've already done the research. They've seen your name come up. They've read a little bit more about what you do. They've seen you on either the AI overviews, chat has recommended you, maybe Claude, and they have clicked over to your website because they want to know more. They want to know if you're the right fit, and they're ready to take action. This is why some of my clients have seen their clicks go down, but have gotten more bookings. The quality of traffic, the quality of the people coming to your website is actually better, and it's better for your business. It's really true. I mean, it's hard to digest this, but would you rather have 100 random visitors come on your website who leave after 5 seconds, or have 10 highly qualified visitors who spend time on your site, read your services page, and then book a consultation call? I know which one I would choose, and I think you do too. And it's hard to get over this idea that we have more is better. That's actually not true. More of less qualified people is not better than less of more qualified people. So if your clicks are down, but your business is doing well, this is actually a sign that things are working. Your website is attracting the right people, and that's what we want. So to bring this all together for you, what does this mean for you and your website moving forward? The first thing I want you to note is don't worry if your clicks are down. Look at your actual business results. Are you still getting inquiries? Are you still booking clients? If yes, you're fine. The clicks don't tell the whole story. Second, I want you to focus on your website content. Make sure that it's helpful, it's written in your voice, it's detailed and strategic. Write for people who are going to read it, but also write for the AI tools that are going to scan it, because this is an important piece of the puzzle too. Clear language, bullet points, answer questions, be very specific about what you offer and who you help. And the third is keep your Google Business Profile updated. Make sure the information is accurate and it matches your website. And this is really important if you are a local business. And finally, remember, your website, it is still your biggest asset. It is working for you around the clock. Even if people aren't clicking, your content is out there. It's being read by AI and it's building your credibility. And when someone does click through, your website will be ready to convert them. So that is my story for today. If you don't know if your website clicks are down, or you're curious to find out more, then it might be a good idea to book a website audit. Together, I can look at your website, look at your analytics, and share with you what is working, what is not, and simple ways to make your website attract more of your ideal clients. If you want any more information, the link is in the show notes, and I will talk to you next time. And that wraps up another episode of Website Design Made Simple. I hope you found the insights shared in this episode valuable and takes you one step closer to creating a website that attracts more of your ideal clients and builds your brand. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a minute to leave a review on Apple Podcasts or a rating on Spotify. Your review will help us reach more small business owners like you who are ready to make more money with their website. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.